All right, so the NFL schedule is out. We're talking about each division right now. We're talking about the NFC North. They do have a lot of implications on whether Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Packer or not going to be a Packer. These analysis that we're going to give out, these top tier takes that we're going to give out, are assuming Aaron Rodgers does play this season. Rob, highs and lows. What are you talking, man?
Well, here's the thing about the NFC North. I personally believe that this division is going to be a season of like make or breaks. It's a whole bunch of make or breaks. You got Aaron Rodgers with the Green Bay Packers. You got Matt Nagy being a quarterback of the Chicago Bears. You got Kirk Cousins being a quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, and of course Jared Goff on his last stop, or not necessarily the last stop, but one of his last stops at Detroit Lions. If these teams don't necessarily perform, there's going to be a lot of firings, a lot of cuttings, a lot of tradings going on. But I'm going to start off with this: the number one seed, in my opinion, is going to have to be the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is assuming obviously Aaron Rodgers stays, of course, as Panda just says. I think they're probably going to go a solid 13-4, a little bit worse than they were last year. Last year they went 13-3. I just personally think that the Green Bay Packers, roster wise, is the best in this division. And of course, if Aaron Rodgers is pretty much pissed off like he was last year, and pretty much plays up to that MVP status, again, it's nothing guaranteed because he is a year older. I just actually think, from what we've seen, they're basically not necessarily giving me a whole bunch of reasons why they wouldn't necessarily be as good as they were last year and as motivated as they were last year, because obviously Aaron Rodgers still wants that ring. Now, number two, I'm going to have to say the Chicago Bears are going to be number two. And it's a little bit like mirroring last year's because, of course, the Green Bay Packers is number one and the Chicago Bears is number two last year. I think that Justin Fields for the launch share of the season is going to be QB1. I know they came out and they said Andy Dalton's going to be QB1, a little bit hilarious, but I personally think that Justin Fields is going to come in, he's going to limit the turnovers, he's basically going to do a lot of things with his legs to pretty much get his team in the correct position. And of course, I personally believe that their defense is going to be a little bit better than last year because they're probably going to be a little bit more motivated this year. The thing about the Chicago Bears is that their offensive line isn't necessarily that good, and they were pretty much forced to resort to Mitch Trubisky because he was a little bit more better in terms of athletically. Justin Fields takes that to a completely different level, and I think the defense is probably going to understand that. Of course, with a young quarterback, he's going to be inspired. Hopefully, he could limit the turnovers a different level. So he's probably not necessarily going to do the best at limiting turnovers. But I just think they're probably going to be the second best in regards to this division. Now, in terms of the actual record, I'm going to say 10-7. I personally believe that they're going to be 10-7. They're going to definitely be a decent team. As I said, going to be carried by the defense. Justin Fields going to do a very good job. Now, the last two, I have the Minnesota Vikings being the last seed. And it's probably going to be the last stop for Kirk Cousins as a starting quarterback. He's pretty much been stealing money throughout his whole career. Now, I'm not necessarily. Now he might get a bag from another team or something like that because his agent is pretty much goaded at this particular point. But I don't necessarily think the Minnesota Vikings has a talent to pretty much outweigh the quarterback play. I think he's a very mediocre quarterback. He's not bad, but he's not good. He's not going to be that quarterback that takes you to the next level. His record in primetime games is pretty much been overstated. His record in the playoffs been overstated. He's absolutely terrible. So I think they're probably gonna go. I'd say a solid 6-12. It's not a solid 6-11. My bad. A solid 6-11. Now number three is probably gonna be number three is gonna be the Detroit Lions. It's gonna be like the redemption for Jared Goff. People have been writing them off, basically saying that he's garbage. Hey, Mitch Trubisky is a better quarterback. I personally believe that he's gonna be on a redemption tour.
I guess I'll start off with the top. So I think it should be unanimous. We should all have the Packers winning that division. Yeah, I have them going 12-5 actually. Again, I mean, what more can you say? They have the best roster. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So I think where the challenge lies is who's going to be in those the 3, 4, the 2, 3, and 4 spots. As the second best team in the division. I actually have the Vikings only because they have a really similar roster to Green Bay. It's just obviously the quarterback is where the drop off is. Kirk Cousins, being represented by Rich Paul and Clutch Sports, getting money every single year. It definitely is. It's a head scratcher. I'll tell you that. But the type of team that the Vikings have, Kirk Cousins only has to be a game manager in order for them to go. What do I have them? 8-9, maybe 9-8. because you can't deny the talent of Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. You know, they got Harrison Smith on defense. I mean, they always have a solid roster every single year. It's just a matter of which Kirk Cousins are you going to get. So I think they're going to come in second, and it's only going to be by a hair because I think with the defense that the Chicago Bears have, along with the upside that I think Justin Fields have, I believe in Justin Fields. I think he's going to finally turn around that bad luck or that curse of Chicago never being able to get their quarterback situation right or getting their offense right. I think with him, you know, having that mobile quarterback, Allen Robinson, the defense staying intact, I think the Bears are gonna go 7-10. And then the Detroit Lions, that's where guys go. That's where careers go to die. I have them going. That's where careers go to die. I have them going 2-15, and that's me being generous.
Oh shit.
That's me being extremely generous because I was never a big fan of Jared Goff. That's for one. For two, you can't use the reason of him going to the Super Bowl and he's going to have a bounce back year. That Rams team carried by that defense and Aaron Donald is a lot different than this Detroit Lions team where Jared Goff is probably your best player on the team. And if Jared Goff is your best player on the team, quarterback or not, I don't see you going far. So
well, we agree across the board. I have the Green Bay Packers going 14-3. I see them just running away with this division. It's not even going to be close. I don't have much to say about the Packers. I feel like we all know what they are and what they should be. And barring catastrophic injury or them trading Aaron Rodgers, they're going to win this division. Now, coming in at second in the division, I have the Minnesota Vikings, and I actually have them winning 10 games and losing 7. I do agree, Kirk Cousins, I don't know what witchcraft he used to get paid the amount that he's getting paid, but he's a decent quarterback. All right, he's a decent quarterback. He's not great. He's not what his contract says he is, but he can be a quarterback on a winning team. And especially, I don't know what it is that they got going on in Minnesota that they just draft and they just have all these wide receivers coming in and out. But with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, there's no reason he shouldn't be throwing for 4,000. Maybe, you know what, the fact that there's another game, 4,300 to 4,500 yards this season. Last season, he threw for 4,200. I feel like that offense should be clicking on all cylinders because on top of having those two great wide receivers, you also have a top 3 running back in the league right now with Dalvin Cook, and their defense they aren't pushovers. I feel like the Vikings are going to be in talks for wild card depending on how the NFC does come out. But that's why I have them at 10-7. They should on paper they should win more games than that, but knowing the Vikings and like Rob said, knowing Kirk Cousins in prime time, I feel like 10-7 is the right place for them. Now, I have the Chicago Bears going 6-11. They're going through another rebuild. I don't even know what to call it. They stopped the rebuild that they were in and started another one. I don't know what they got going on over there. They need to figure out their quarterback situation. I know the fans, they're happy for Justin Fields, but I don't know if the coaching staff is going to rock with Justin Fields. And finally, I have the Detroit Lions. I don't have them winning 2 games. I have them winning 4. All right, I have them going 4-13 because I really don't believe in Jared Goff. I see him going further and further down the list of quarterbacks in the league. Pretty soon, he's not going to be a starting quarterback in the league. And it hurts to say because... Well, no, it doesn't hurt to say. His feelings shouldn't be hurt. He got a huge contract that he got traded out of. He's still getting paid. You're just not a good quarterback, bro.
That's the last message you have for him? You're just not a good quarterback.
Hey, Jared Goff, no hard feelings if you ever do watch this. I just don't think you're a good quarterback. Better quarterback than me, but that's not really saying much.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the thing about the Chicago Bears, in my opinion, I think they already had, a very good foundation. They didn't necessarily do anything too completely radical this offseason. I think if you bring in a quarterback that can perform better than Mitch Trubisky, which I think, I actually think that Justin Fields can do something like that. I mean, I think they're probably going to be better than what they were last year. And what they were last year, I believe they were 8-8. Let me make sure.
Who, the
yeah,
Bears?
they were 8-8. Yeah, the Chicago Bears. They were 8-8. I think if they could build upon that to get better, I think they could definitely challenge for a wild card spot. I really don't see them getting worse than what they were last year, but just because of the quarterback conundrum, and I personally think that Matt Nagy, he's feeling a lot of the heat. I mean, his seat is as hot as fish grease right now. He needs to do something, and he needs to do something extremely quickly.